What's up and welcome to Champions of Lore, a show about all the kick-ass stories behind some of Idle Champions, coolest campaigns, and characters. Every Wednesday at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time here on twitch.tv/CNE Games, or later on your favorite podcast service. B. Dave Walters and Erin M. Evans talk about all the Idle Champions lore that's fun to know about. And if you're with us live in the chat, you leave a question that I, Treavor Bettis, will ask them later in the show. And I got the names right today, unlike Champions Psychology yesterday, where I introduced B. Dave Walters. But before we get to all the fun, who are you two fine folks who...
You get a hat like Dr. B. Like you. And then we won't be able to tell who's who.
You've got the luxurious hair. That is true. You know what it is? You wear the hat and you wear one of his vests, but nothing else.
I'll do
just have the guns out. Just a hat and a vest. And let your hair down, and you will be the Dragon Ball Z fusion of Dr. B and I. Fusion.
But yes, Erin, B. Dave, take it away.
I'm not Dr. B. I'm Erin M. Evans.
What?
I'm the author of the Brimstone
Dr.
Angels
B
saga.
looks hot today.
Why, thank you. Author of the Brimstone Angels saga on the forthcoming Empire of Exiles. I'm also a content designer for Idle Champions, and I play Cecilia on Dungeon Scrawlers.
B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. I just quick changed in front of everybody and had to endure.
You guys missed B. Dave in a button down.
You did.
I did too, actually, but
yep.
So maybe someday.
So, I appreciate their cover up. This is a family show. B. Dave Walters, I say words about things. You can find me all over both the internet and television, wherever fine streaming content can be located. The embargo on Netflix Geek Week is up today, but nobody's told me that I can actually say what I'm doing. And
you can say when.
But next Thursday at 10 a.m. I think. Yeah, next Thursday, 10 a.m. Netflix doing a thing. But hopefully
and it's going to be on Netflix.
As far as I know, you know what I mean? Yeah. So that's next Thursday. Also, tonight, I'm taking over the helm of our Spelljammer helm for Legends of the Multiverse. I'm DMing 6 sessions, which is a lot of episodes, the way they cut it up. So I'm coming in after Brennan, coming in hot with Miss Jenny D. It gets super spicy, super quick. So check that out tonight.
It's wild that 5 episodes in, they decided to do a TPK. It's just wild.
I said what I said. I don't kill people. The dice kill the people. Kill people.
Can you say anything about it? Like, are you going to do your Mind Flayer voice?
Maybe there's Mind Flayers tonight. Yes, maybe. Here's the thing. Yes, I absolutely do the Mind Flayer voice. Also, it's not my fault they put so many brain-eating monsters in Spelljammer. Okay?
It's true.
No, you're just
not your fault.
with the tools they put on the table.
Yeah.
Right?
If they didn't want Mind Flayers, they should have put less Mind Flayers in Spelljammer.
All this horrible stuff I've done over my run, I'm like, y'all, it's in the book, okay? Like, if you didn't want me to use it, why did you make it? Okay, yeah.
Fair. Today, so last week we talked about Modrons, and we got a little bit into Mechanus. And,
all hail the Modrons.
All hail the Modrons. And today we thought it'd be fun to talk about the Mechanus in the Outer Planes, because as we said last week, there's the Great Modron March, and that goes through all of these places in the Outer Planes. So we're gonna go on a Great Modron March tour. Ta-da! I will tell you this, I tried to follow, I tried to do like a red web thing with the lines and everything, following where this goes, and it got out of control fast. So, I guess, just so we could have it all in one episode also, what's the brief description of Mechanus, where this all starts?
The clockwork nirvana of Mechanus. It's perfect. It's clockwork. Everything runs the way it's meant to. There's a neat picture. I'll see if I can find it. But there's pictures of what it looks like, and it literally looks like this gigantic interwoven clock. And it's where the Modrons come from, and everything is great there. And apparently, there's a fleshlight robot.
Oh God, why did that
you're
come
welcome.
back?
Yeah, there you go. It's my gift to you. No. Yeah, if you Google Clockwork Nirvana of Mechanist, there's one in particular that I'm about to send you guys the link to this here. Whenever I think of the place, that's what I have in mind. And it does look like basically interconnected gears and things, and all the cities are built on the back of it. Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yep.
It's like flat Earth galore.
Basically. And since it's a whole plane, it just goes.
It just goes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Like clockwork.
And then I see what you did there. And then there's one other one that I really like that was from a third edition adventure where there's some adventurers hiding from some of the Modrons.
During the Great Modron March. Yeah, I've got that one.
Mm-hmm. They do look so adorable, and then you like stand up, and then they like laser your face off.
Yeah. Not good.
All hail the Modron. All hail the Modrons.
So mechanical plane, it's the plane of neutral and law and everything like that.
The lawiest of laws.
The lawlist. And then occasionally, how long was it between Modron marches?
It's 289 years. Yeah. 289
Yeah.
years. They go on the march and they have a very detailed itinerary.
They do. Yeah.
I mean, can't you imagine those like cute little monodrone drones just walking around with like cameras, just like I
keep seeing like the minions from Despicable Me.
Yeah.
But like in robot form.
But also like maybe like one of the big pyramid ones that's walking around with one of those flags like you see at Disneyland. That's just trying to get everybody, all right, let's go this way. We're going to the abyss now. Come on, hurry up.
The quote that I'm only reading expressly for Treavor is every 289 years the entire multiverse goes mad like clockwork. Yeah.
That is a good quote. It's a good quote. So I just heard something crash behind me, and I hope everything is fine.
Don't die.
Yeah, please don't. Then the Great Modron March starts, and I was confused at first because it says Automata to Fortitude, and I was like, okay, but like, where's Mechanus start off with? Automata is apparently a gatehouse town. Now, what is a gatehouse town? This was confusing for me.
So the gate towns, I believe, are the points of passage between the different parts of the outer planes.
Yeah. Okay.
So there's like a portal there that you can move through. So first they go from Mechanus to Arcadia, which is where Fortitude is.
Yep. And Sigil connects everywhere. That's what Sigil's whole thing is.
It's the axle, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I found a map. Yeah, it's got like the outlands, and then there's gate towns all around the edge of this disc, and then there's a pillar in the middle, and Sigil is at the top of it.
Yep, 16 gate towns. Or you could just cast plane shift if you're not a coward.
Okay, so that in mind, where do you want to start for a location?
Well, let's just go through the road. Yeah. So we go from.
There's a very carefully mapped out itinerary. Like, what do you mean? Like, where
we're going to the best now.
We begin at the beginning.
Packet.
Exactly. Everybody remember their travel buddy. Everybody look to your left, look to your right. You know. Yeah.
One of these two Modron won't be there on the way back.
That's true. That is true. I do just kind of see it like, you know, those like crab marches and then it's just like you watch the footage and of course like they're just getting like obliterated, like run over by cars, eaten by birds, you know, but I mean there's just so many of them that they're just like, we're heading to the ocean.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So where are we starting, Erin?
Arcadia is the next of the outer planes. They leave Mechanus, they go to Arcadia. Arcadia is tends to represent the alignments of not lawful, neutral, and lawful good, versus this is pure lawful. This is we're moving along the line. It's a lot of these outer planes get a little bit shifty between editions, and when we move from the Great Wheel to the World Tree and then back, it gets all a little mixed up. But Arcadia is also known as the Peaceable Kingdoms of Arcadia. It's very like woodlands and mountains, and you find things like Hollyphants here. There's things that are sort of generally like like a lot of the animals, because you have things that are sort of like, they're not looking to start trouble, they're just looking to survive and function. And so you have these vast forests that you can hang out in and take pictures of, I guess.
Hey,
Neat.
I would just like to say two things. One, we mentioned this last week, but reiterate that this isn't a hostile thing. They really just do this. They just go check things out. And my favorite quote about this is, since the march was not very efficient at defending itself, and due to the hostile nature of many of the places visited, only a very few Modrons managed to complete the voyage.
It makes me so sad.
So they really are like the crabs on the thing that just go and just get lit up places. But they're like, it's not a hostile incursion or anything. It's just a sightseeing tour of the plains every 289 years, which is one rotation of the Great Central Gear of Mechanus, for the record. That's where the 289 comes from.
Mm-hmm.
And in Arcadia, because we have that lawful thing, there's a lot of like, and this animal is metallic. But it is generally sort of meant to be sort of, and like, lots of hive building insects. But yeah, it's sort of meant to be like this is the peaceful place you go if you're a lawful good person that wants to roam around after you're dead. From Arcadia, they go to Mount Celestia, which is also known as the Seven Heavens of Mount Celestia. So you'll see it listed, just like you'll see Mechanus listed sometimes as Nirvana. You'll see this listed as the Seven Heavens.
Okay.
This is sort of the pinnacle of lawful goodness. It's sometimes called the Radiant Throne. In the I believe this is a realm specific thing. Let me double check.
I do blame Diablo for taking over what every time I picture Mount Celestia, what it looks like. Just full of angels in armor.
I mean, not that.
Yeah.
In Forgotten Realms, and particularly when the World Tree cosmology was ascendant, this was called the House of the Triad too, because this is where you see the big three lawful good deities: Helm, Ilmater, and Torm.
Okay.
And Tyr also are kind of here. Different ones get to be in different levels of in charge. Sometimes Bahamut lives here too.
Huh.
Boo! Boo, Bahamut, boo! Yeah. With his platinum castle with all the bones inlaid in the walls. Boo! Trying way too hard, Bahamut. Trying way too hard.
Lauren in the chat says, woo, Bahamut.
Cut to Orkira. I was saying boo earns. You know? Boo Famet. Boo Famet.
Oh.
So where are we going after Mount Celestia?
So there are a lot of parts of Mount Celestia, but yeah, we've got a lot of outer plains to
We
hit,
do.
So
Just for the record, I imagine like these like little Modrons come rolling out, and the first place they show up is Mount Celestia, which is literally heaven, and they're like, "Ooh, okay," you know.
you have to go through Arcadia first.
True.
Then they go to Mount Celestia, which involves going up a mountain of many layers. So you've got like Lunia and Bitopia, and then I'm trying to find the next place you go.
I don't know. It's still pretty nice though.
Yeah, I don't know why, but I just realized if I ever have the Great Modron March show up in my games, I'm going to have it where like several of these planes have like set up gift shops around where they're going to come out of the portal.
They spend quite a lot of time in the heavens, though.
Get your tier action figures here. Oh,
they start here and then they're gonna go to the not great places.
That's what I'm saying. I feel like they should like reverse the cycle. Like, I mean, get your apocalyptic, get Mordor out of the way first. So by the time you arrive in Rivendell, you appreciate it even that much more. That you're like, wow, waterfalls. Not a flaming rock to be seen.
So actually, gosh, this is it. God love an edition change. There's just so much stuff.
You're allowed to
Okay.
you're allowed to neckbeard here. You are.
It just gets complicated. So after the seven heavens, you go to the twin kingdoms, which is Bitopia, which in some versions is merged into a part of Mount Celestia, it looks like. And that's fine, because really the thing I like about plane stuff is like you shouldn't, as a like person standing on the prime material, fully understand all of this stuff.
Correct.
Why can't it be both? It's not
Yeah.
not normal. It's not straightforward. But at any rate, this is sort of lawful good, neutral good again. Like, so as you move through the planes, it's got like an alignment. It's a clock of alignment. So we're moving out of lawful good towards like lawful neutral, or so towards neutral good, I guess. And so this is also, you start to get in hitting all of those alignments, it gets a little like, what's the difference between this one and this one? So Bitopia is two layers joined into one plane, and they're basically opposite each other. It looks like the two layers of the plane are joined at one barrier, which happen to span the entire sky about 10 miles above sea level. Gravity is normal for each layer, but once you cross that barrier, it switches. So you've got like this going on.
That's
so
pretty
you can
cool.
look up and there's the other side.
I think I saw a movie about that once.
So there's Dotheon and there's Shirok, and Dotheon is old forests and huge meadows with mild seasonal changes.
I will say,
and Shirok is much harsher.
Dotheon Shirok sounds like a Dune villain, and I'm here for it.
You can just hear an army chanting it. Real quick, slightly off topic, I want to give a really big shout out to the Forgotten Realms wiki, because on most of these Outer Planes pages, they've had maps with selectable areas. And that's really freaking cool. Give yourself a pat on the back for that. That is, I love it.
That was Joe Starr worked real hard to get that implemented in his time at fandom. Shout out to our homie Joe Starr.
There you go.
So the Modron March goes from, so we go through Bitopia to Elysium via Dotheon, and into what's called Amoria, which is an area of Elysium.
I wonder how many of them don't want to leave Ecstasy and Elysium. You know what I mean? Like, actually, that's the thing. I'm like, on the one hand, they're all like, it's literally heaven. But on the other hand, they're like, this is not balanced at all. You know what I mean? Like imagine like you're this like robot that only cares about law and order, and you like roll in and everybody's like in orgasmic bliss, and you're like,
Now you just made me think that every time the Modron March enters a plane, you just hear throughout the plane, ding, ding.
Yeah. not that. It's not that. Yeah. In the Modron March through the plains, the people are represented by a hierarchy of machines, the least of which are the monodromes. These are their stories. All hail the Modrons. All hail the Modrons. That's it, Modrons. That's it. That's the dun-dun. They show up and just goes, Modrons.
Written by Mechanical Wolf. So
Elysium is 4 layers.
Yep.
With a sort of a river pouring down it that I believe is Oceanus, and moves kind of from Amoria down through Eronia, Beleriand to Celestia, which is the Great Ocean. And so they would start on Amoria and kind of work their way down, I guess. And this is where I need to check if this is.
So I actually have a nifty piece of lore from the chat. Lauren says Elysium is canonically where the Phoenix lives for the Phoenix domain.
Hey,
that's pretty cool.
I thought the Phoenix was in the plane of fire. Like, it all seemed a lot more flaming every time we went there. But all right, she's literally the expert on. So we're in a flamey area of Elysium. That was always the wildest thing to me about the planes too. It's because like technically there are planets, but in some of these places it's just stuff.
Plain. Yeah,
and literally just every direction are things.
Lauren says Orkira in the show put them in the plane of fire, but in the lore they live there.
Yes. Let your troubles wash away and the rivers flow, and may you be at peace. A petitioner's greeting to Elysium. Again, they literally go to heaven, and they're like, yeah.
Yeah, I guess it's cool, but we're gonna go back home.
If you're into that, you know.
Yeah. All right.
So where are we going next?
So they go from there. This one I am having a little bit of trouble placing.
The next one?
So that's the Ecstasy is the gate town out of Elysium.
Mm-hmm.
Which again, they're leaving Ecstasy for a place called the Beastlands. Now, to be fair, Beastlands is still neutral good, chaotic good. It is very much abundant wildlife. There's all the animals on this place. So in our is it Arborea that we went through? Gosh, there's so many planes.
There's so many planes.
Okay, Arcadia.
I always say this.
Arcadia.
Yes.
Yeah, we haven't gotten Arborea yet. I always say this Arborea. That's another one of those things. These all these words you've read and never said. You know what I mean?
Like, and then you say it, and people are like, "What is happening there?" I'm sorry, Arborea.
I don't know. I'm just saying that's how I say it.
That's fair.
It very well could be Arborea.
But so Arcadia has lots of animals. Those animals don't talk. Aside from things that are not animals, like polyphons. Polyphons talk.
Mm-hmm.
When you get to the Beastlands, you have lots of things that look like normal animals from the prime material, but they can talk. So this one also is multi-layered. We have Krigala, Brooks, and Karasuthra. And that the Karasuthra is the land of starlight, which is kind of cool, but you cannot map the stars because they keep moving. I think that's kind of interesting. And Brooks is actually the location of the Library of All Knowledge, which is interesting. That is not what I expected from the Beastlands.
Sure, but I mean, it's the last place you'd look. You know what I mean? That's how they
I want to point out that in the Beastlands page, there's a picture of some deer, and then in the front of the picture, there's a bunch of like lionesses that are just chilling, and there is one raccoon just curled up with one of them. Like, what?
Yep.
Keep moving.
Hey, what's up?
Yeah.
Close something.
Close your mouth. Keep your teeth, Modron. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I especially love that because as we established on the Modron episode, that's like the one organic part of every Modron is their mouth. So they probably do have it's entirely possible they have organic teeth too.
God, I hate it.
Yep.
Gross.
Yep. They're
Knock
like
'em out.
Batman. It's their one vulnerable spot is right there. Yes. Mm-hmm.
I hate it.
Yep.
All right, where are we going after Beastlands?
That's when we're going to Arborea or Arborea. One of those.
The tree place.
We're at
The
chaotic good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In the realms, this is also called Arvindor, and this is the elf realm. This is where the elf gods are, and where the elves, I believe, where the elves come from and potentially can return to. But it is in sort of divorced from the realms lore and cosmology. I believe that this is where they put the Olympian powers. So if you want Greek gods in your setting, they suggest Arborea.
Yeah, that's where it crosses over. It's like quasi Olympus-ish thing. You know what I mean? It's like if you just really need Zeus, he's not here, basically, in Arborea.
Good to know. Good to know.
Mm-hmm.
And nature spirits can show up in this. Just nice chill place. At that point, now we're starting to move out of the nice things.
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. Like again, I just really find like some little monodrome, like it goes into its like Disney, I just have to sing moment, and then you're like, oh no, keep walking. You know?
Okay.
It's true.
There's one in here that they march through that I don't know.
From the
Eastgard.
Glorium?
Yeah.
Or Eastgard to Limbo.
Yeah, Glorium is the gate town for Eastgard.
Yeah, Eastgard is a branch of the Yggdrasil, the World Tree.
Okay.
Where they're like,
where there's giant squirrels.
I swear that was listed as being somewhere else, but I have to admit this is one place where I am a little like with the wiki, because you have a mix of World Tree and Great. So it'll be like, this connects to an upper plane. I'm like, but if we're talking about the Great Wheel, there is no upper plane. There's just left and right planes. You don't go up and down.
It's not the glass elevator.
Sure. It's the heroic domains of Eastgard, which is also Gladsheim. So a lot of giants there, a lot of big old boys, like chunky babies.
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Chunky babies.
Chunky babies. It is a perfect day to die, just like yesterday and the day before. So it's like Stovokor up here. You know what I mean? It's just like Klingons and giants. You're just like, kapla! gotta show a lot of whites in your eyes when you
the original Star Trek battle music is on loop.
So, for the realms, and this actually sounds familiar. The realms model originally was the world tree. And then there's the world axis, which is kind of between. So some of the things that are in the lore of Forgotten Realms don't fit tightly into this ring model, but you can kind of find like Arvindor in Arborea. In this case, like there's the Gates of the Moon, which is where Selune hangs out. This one, Brightwater. There's Jotunheim, which is where all the giant gods are. Excuse me. And Brightwater is so Brightwater is where all the fun goddesses are. Clara and Shares and Suni and Timora and Joaquin. So that's the goddess of joy and how do we say Shares? Goddess of sexy times, kind of. He's the goddess of beauty and love. Timora is the goddess of good luck, and Joaquin is the goddess of wealth.
Also, don't die.
You guys talk for a minute. I'm gonna
okay, we're gonna talk. These planes are weird.
Well, they leave there and they go to Limbo, which I've been waiting this whole entire time to just be able to say, how low do they in fact go when they get to Limbo? You know what I mean? Like, I feel like the gate town is a stick that you must pass under or you can't come. You know what I mean? It's like right there, like, or you cannot come into our plane.
All of the doorways in this town have a bar.
Exactly. It is the ever-changing chaos of Limbo, which is an outer plane. You breathe the fire, walk the air, drink the earth, warm your hands at the water, is the petitioner's greeting of Limbo, which is just chaos. A lot of times is chaotic neutral. A lot of times people think that Limbo is nothingness, but it's not. It's chaos. It's like everything is just kind of bananas all the time. The Slotty, which are like those lizard people,
and frog monsters.
Yep, I hate them. They're really gross. And the Gith Zerai, which are the thinking person's Gith Yankee.
The thinking person.
They're like yes, yes. Well, the Gith Yankee are kind of woo. They're called Romulans.
Aren't the Gith Yankee the Romulans in that case? Because they're a little more like
the Gith Zerai would be the Vulcans.
That's what I said. That's what I meant.
Oh yeah, right.
We're on the same page.
Yeah.
Yes, not evil. Not evil.
I was gonna say I've been to Limbo in a game, and it was once we kind of figured out how to work it a little, it was okay, because we made like a wall of water out of nothing and broke a staircase because we wanted to, but we left with a slotty tadpole in our Blade Singer.
I swear my brain did not hear that as slotty tadpole, and I'm not gonna tell you what I did here.
All right, moving on from there.
So anyway, this marks the changeover point. We did the good side. Now we're going on the bad side. You go from Limbo to Pandemonium.
Let me just say one quick thing before we transition. Limbo is where some of the Hindu gods are. Like if you want like Agni and Indra and some of the Hindu gods, that's a place for it. Oh. Again, that's always weird to me. That why we accept like as I've mentioned in times past, there's people that still like actively worship Thor and Loki, like, but where they're superheroes and in D&D, and there's definitely people that worship like Agni and Indra, and you're like, nah, but they live in the plane of Limbo because reasons. Also, they have an AC of 18. You're like, what?
That's weird. That's weird.
Yep. Yep. Please, yes, into pandemonium. Where the party never stops.
I like the quote on this one. My God, the wind, the howling, it's driving me mad. I would not like to. No, thank you.
Yep.
Wind is not my favorite weather. Yeah, so this is rock full of caverns and tunnels, and it is constant noise. And the gravity kind of pulls away, so you can walk up the sides of all of these extraordinarily noisy caverns for the time in which you are trapped in it. It sounds awful.
Yeah, not a fan.
Yeah.
Again,
good.
Learn plane shift, kids.
The good news is that your reward for going through this place is to get to the abyss.
Hooray!
Yep.
We move from this is again, we just actually is it does go to the abyss, and then we go. See, this is a thing, like I am very familiar with the Nine Hells and the Abyss, right? There's a lot of work that involved with these things, but there are so many different versions of hell in this, like different kind of shifting angles on it. Like the whole bottom half is awful and feels very at home with your copy of Dante's Inferno or Purgatorio. So yeah, then we go to the Abyss, full of demons.
Yeah.
We've talked about the Abyss.
We have.
Yeah.
It's awful.
Yeah. Yeah.
What's your favorite layer of the Abyss?
Because of all the jokes we made about it, the Demogorgon's played.
Yep.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, please.
I was gonna say, the one that I'm trying to remember the name of it. That I always thought was interesting is the one that has Pale Knight on it. Because I'm not gonna lie, I think Pale Knight is really interesting. She's a very, very old demon that feels kind of Lady of Painy in that nobody sees her face. She's like the mother of demons. But she shares a lair with Baphomet in the Endless Maze.
Oh, they're roommates.
They're like,
they're
roommates. And I'm not gonna lie, that's the thing I'm very curious about, is like, how do Baphomet and Pale Knight like interact? Do they just like have weekly tea and dish sessions?
Or there's like the tape down the middle of the plane that you're like, you stay over there.
Which is it? I feel a little like I like the idea that they're not, maybe not friends, but that like comes, he's like, Orga's made fun of me again.
Yeah.
Orga's is crap.
Yeah, well, you had Gratz over again last night, so leave me alone.
Gratz is her son in certain. I have a whole theory about that.
Oh, geez.
But it's one of those like.
But seriously though,
demon
lords having to live together—that's the actual play I really want.
Demon Lord, real world, love it.
Yes.
So
shout out
the
to Modrons.
The Modrons that survive that make it to Karkari, which is also terrible.
Yeah, like it's pretty like there's no good options from here on out. Yeah.
Yeah, it's just flavors of terrible.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so this one is also called Tartarus. This is between chaotic evil and neutral evil. It's it's kind of a plane of contention between demons and devils. And that is the home of the Demodans, which are, one of those fiends everybody ignores.
And at least one Minotaur.
I appreciate we talk about it's a plane of contention. Like, I mean, I want to know that like the plane where like they actually get along fine. You know what I mean? It's like where Wile E. Coyote and Sam the Sheepdog clock in and clock out. Like there's this one like Q plane where the demons and the devils just kind of like all stop and like it's like the lunchroom or something. You know what I mean? Like, all right. We all agree.
Yeah. A lot of these like they don't sound that great. Why are you fighting over it?
Yeah.
Go fight over something. Go fight over Arborea, guys. It's really nice.
This is really
True.
nice, yeah. I do have a question. This was interesting because you this says that they exit via Undermountain. That was it says Carsi, is it Carsi? How do you say this one? Carcari. Carcari to Hades, exiting Orthus via Undermountain.
Yeah, Undermountain goes down all the way down. Yeah, all the way down to the yeah, all the way down to the outer hells. Yeah.
So that's like the one
It's got some weird planes or portals and stuff in it too.
It's fair
because it's like the river Styx flows out of Hades to Undermountain.
Oh.
But like super Undermountain, like under Undermountain.
Super Undermountain.
Like the hipster Undermountain. Like
coming to the SNES this fall, Super Undermountain.
You've never heard of it because it's too underground.
Okay.
Yeah.
Help me out. I can't remember his real name. It's not Alabaster.
Alabaster Blackcloak.
Halaster Blackcloak.
He's I didn't know he had another basement.
Alabaster Booty Clap. Like, I mean, it's just, we don't make the rules. Yeah. Halaster Blackcloak. Yep.
Anyway, I didn't know he had another basement.
Yeah,
all right.
Just keep digging and it keeps getting hotter. Yeah. Yeah.
So at that point, we get to neutral evil, which is the gray waste of Hades. Yeah. Where does this just that in here? It's just gloomy. Blah. I glitched a little, but I'm here.
Only slightly.
It's all right. Hades does that to people.
It feels, kind of Land of the Dead. You've got Niflheim is here, which is the land of fog in Norse mythology. Pluton, which is very Roman underworld.
Yep.
So that sort of gloomy, sad shades and darkness and it's the low key hell.
It's diet hell.
High key. The high hell of the abyss.
Diet hell.
Hell.
Try diet hell.
Try diet hell. I mean, that's sugar-free, caffeine-free Coke is diet hell, by the way. Where you're it's just brown spice water. It tastes like burning. Yep.
All right. Then we go to the bleak eternity of Gehenna.
That's what it says on the postcard.
They leave the abyss go to Undermountain, kind of just come up, take a deep breath, and then it's just back down into the nine hells. You know what I mean? It's you can't even cross over the river where the blood war is happening. You go all the way back up and then all the way back down. Yep. I just imagine there's just a contingent of drow waiting for them to come out, and they just snag a couple of them and leave. You know what I mean? They're
you are my child now.
Exactly. You're for lol. Yeah.
You're for lol.
Oh. So.
Gehenna.
Yep.
There's a place called Hopeless.
It's
Oh.
Is it fixed?
Nope. You're back.
I don't know what that is.
Yeah.
It's not fun. My apologies.
Evil wizardry.
That is true. That's
Alabaster booty clap.
It is Alabaster Booty Clap. We invoked his name. Yep.
That is true. I was about to say we've done quite a lot of blasphemy, so I feel like the other deities, if they were gonna do something, they'd have done it by now. It's Halaster Blackcloak. Yep.
Oh.
All right. So
okay.
Let me jump in here.
Yeah. Let's do it.
Yeah. So they go to Gehenna, where again, super happy fun playing. Everything's fine in Gehenna. The bleak eternity of Gehenna. Life is an exercise in will. Now hold still while I exercise mine. That's ominous.
Oh.
Yeah. It is lawful evil and neutral evil. It is one of the outer planes, and that they move through there. Oh, we got to double time it because we gotta get to questions soon. Go back to the nine hells, which we've discussed at length. Oh, sorry, you're super 8-bit. You're kind of you're like Minecraft. You're like pop lock in here for us. Yeah.
It's yeah, it's a thing.
Okay, we'll get through these ones and we'll go to the questions.
Yep, and then they go back to the Nine Hells. You know all about the Nine Hells. We've talked about them at length. Best place ever. then they come to somewhere called Ribcage.
Yeah, I noticed that. Is that like a Phil's barbecue offshoot?
It is a gate town that leads to the Nine Hells. That's how you get down into the Nine Hells. That do Ribcage. And looking at the art, it's in a ginormous ribcage. So why wouldn't there?
No lies detected.
Why wouldn't that be a thing? Yeah. They go from there to Rigus, which is a large gate town leading to Acheron from the Outlands. Obey or die isn't just a real good idea; it's the law, Which it's a stratocracy is the government type. Is that a stratified society? Is that what that is? Stratocracy, government by military forces, huh? I didn't know that there was a word for military dictatorship, but that's how it goes down.
Well, there we go.
In Rigus, and then from there they go to Acheron, and then back to Mechanus.
Yep.
Those that make it get to go home.
It's probably a very small. It's no longer the Great March. It's just a march.
Yeah. Like 16 of them come home again. You know what I mean? They're like the Donner Party of Modrons.
So there you have the I don't even know the tour. There we go. The tour of the Great Modron March.
Tour.
Do we have any idea how long it takes them to do this?
I don't know. I feel like it would take a long time.
Yeah. I don't know.
Great Modron March. Activities, history. Yeah, I don't know.
What does it say? Less than 289 years, presumably.
That's
Clearly.
fair.
Yeah.
It would be funny if it took 288 years.
Well, they're just like, oh, dude, yeah. Well, they subdivide everything into 17 years of the turning of the Great Wheel, so I wouldn't be surprised if it takes 17 years.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true.
I mean, because I feel like they're like double timing it to like get through some of these places though on their little Modron legs.
I mean, honestly, a lot of them I don't want to go through slowly personally.
Yeah, and they also don't have to like stop to sleep or anything, so they kind of can just push. Yeah.
Sorry, I googled just to see. It looks like it takes 17 years. So
are you not entertained?
I am entertained.
Are you not entertained? Just want you to know, I'm paying attention, Modrons. I'm picking up what you're putting down.
There we go. Okay, let's check in with chat and see what they've been up to while we've been taking our tour. Fool's Genius 89 says, question, are there any lawful neutral outsiders that aren't robots or constructs? I remember 3.5 having extra planar ants.
That's the one I was going to bring up, although I see my internet has frozen. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yeah,
okay.
I can hear you.
Formians. Formians are extra.
Well, then we lost her.
Nope, she's messing with us. Let's see. Let's see. Asimara, Gym Dragons, Modrons, Tieflings, Gitzerai, Turtles, Myconids, and humans. We're looking for outsiders, though. An Oathbinder Genie. Genies are outsiders. Most of these genies apparently are lawful neutral.
Extra planar ant sounds like an Elden Ring enemy, and I'm not saying that just because there's ants.
I was gonna say it sounds like a cover band that I like had a CD of.
Alien Ant Farm's new spin-off. Extra planar ants.
Boom, boom, boom. Yeah. Dragonborn of Bahamut. Boo.
Yep.
Yeah, let's see here. Yeah, that's a lot of the Modrons.
She dropped.
Oh, we lost her completely. Oh no. I'm like, and Lauren is jumping into action.
Lauren, you are the best. We appreciate you.
It's true. That's
okay,
yeah.
Let's see. Next question we got from Jonathan Skyfell. My question would be, is there any lore that says Modrons in the upper ranks are more or less likely to have been on a march? As in, does surviving a march make a Modron more likely to be promoted than one that stayed at home gathering psychomorphic jelly? Which is, again, great name.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it, especially because they're all about law and equality, and so theoretically, that's not. Yeah, too much of that is out of your hands. So no.
Yeah, I see those as kind of more of just like it is a higher understanding of why they choose who they choose to go on.
I will say they're smart enough to know because nothing higher than the pentadrones go. So like the quadrons up are all like, no, that junk's dangerous, dude.
Yeah,
like, yeah, we're gonna.
we don't do that.
It's not a thing we're doing. Yeah.
No. Catch 23 question: do the Modrons prepare for the march and anticipate it, or does a switch just click in their heads and they're like, hey, okay, we're marching now?
I mean, I feel like they're very much, if you stay ready, you don't have to get ready, is how Modrons do things. So I feel like one day they're just like, it's been 289 years, hup hup.
Yep.
You know? And
they
just, yeah.
Like, I think like, I definitely think by lore, it's probably switch gets flipped. They just go. If I was doing one, though, it would be a hilarious cacophony of a bunch of Modrons trying to get together, like the McAllister family going on a vacation. Like, it would just be chaos.
Well, there's thousands of the monodrones go, and then there's 50, at least 50 pentadrones. Quadrones are the elite warriors that like try and protect them. Tridones and duodrones are the ones that do the herding and carrying out commands of the vast masses while they're out there. But remember, we established that like you can't see too far past your own rank. Yeah. So that has to be like extra frustrating. They're about to like march off cliffs like robotic lemmings, and you're like, bro. And they're like, all hail the Modrons. All hail the Modrons.
Let's see. Ryan Hayden says, question: how many youngsters tried to do a Modron March surf? What? Trying to place a surfboard on the wave of Modrons and trying to ride it. Hey, Aaron's back.
Sorry.
Hey. No, sorry. You're good.
No, you can't help it.
Suddenly very windy and the lights flickered and then my computer restarted.
Oh,
trees hit the power lines.
Probably.
Ooh.
I hope it doesn't get more intense because I didn't think it was that windy when I came in. But
Alabaster Booty clap on it again.
Yeah, for real.
You know, it's you know what it is? Pandemonium. You invoked the plane, the wrath of the plane.
I did insult that plane big time.
It's like that time on Writing About Dragons and shit when I started saying things about Zeus and then it started raining really hard.
Like.
So, Aaron, I will pose this question to you. Yeah. Ryan Hayden says, question: how many youngsters do you think tried to do a Modron March surf, trying to place a surfboard on top of the Modrons and go for a ride? I don't know, but it's happening now.
It's true.
I do wonder, like, they move through all of these planes. The people who live on those planes, you know, it's like the sudden influx. You know, like you live in a beach town, and for the one weekend, all the tourists show up for the clam festival.
Yeah.
And so it's like that, but more. And so I bet there are totally things like that, right?
Yeah.
Especially when you have shorter lived races, that there were no eyewitnesses from 289 years ago. You're just you're like, the heck is that? And then they're like, yeah. Especially because in every other context, thousands of invaders are generally negative. Not just like passing through, friend. You know, seeing how things are doing here.
Flashes in the distance, and it's just cameras.
Modron spring break, isn't it?
That's true. It is. This is super Modron spring break. This is super Modron spring break.
Devastate everything.
Hello, I'm Jessica Modron for Modron TV.
Yes, Modron's gone wild. Yep.
Banana Monsters.
They don't even do anything for the local economy because they don't need to eat or sleep.
That's true.
That's where I realized my joke about the merchant stands went broke because I was like, oh, they don't got any money. They're not gonna be bringing money.
Yeah. On the topic of, sorry, go ahead.
I was about to say they fertilize the land when they die. Yep.
Except they're made of mostly metal, so it's just
except for their teeth.
It's true. Ooh, they just leave teeth everywhere. That's it. That's the only proof they were there.
I feel like a lot of those sort of weird monster parts end up being spell components or ritual components. Do you think there's a spell that needs Modron teeth?
Oh, well, there will be now.
I mean, there's definitely some artificer nonsense to be done with that, yes.
100%.
Somewhere.
The question I got I dropped the internet on when I was talking about Formians, and I was going to mention there is a Forgotten Realms novel called Never's Fall by Ed Gentry, where Formians are the bad guys.
Ooh.
Or are they? The bad guys might be
Or
us all along.
are they
Bum, bum, bum.
But that was the first book I ever edited, and well, I had someone, Susan was holding my hand for it because I'd never edited for them before, and they were like, "Can you do this?" But yeah, so that was the first monster in a novel I ever encountered was Formians. They're not actually as common as my experience would have led me to believe.
I have to read this comment from Chamber X77. Just says cast Modron's Mighty Munchers. I love it. I want that to be a spell. I hate it and I love it. Let's see. Banana Mobster says, question, is there a Great Modron March map like you used to be able to get for Route 66? If you did, it would look like abstract art.
It's written in Modron.
It's written in Modron, yes.
It's true.
It looks like a wiring diagram.
See, I was thinking like the old school punch card programming cards that are just like dots and did. Like that's what I feel like Modron would look like.
This is a good one. Fool's Genius 89 question: do the Modrons that make it out of the abyss and hell just look like punk rocker Modrons covered in spikes and black?
Oh no! I bet the youths in these planes like try to put graffiti on the Modrons.
Oh,
as they go by.
that's so mean.
Oh yeah.
They just kicked me on one of them.
Just knock them over just to watch them be like. Yeah.
One of the bigger Modrons comes over. This is why we can't have nice things. It's not a phase, Momdron, says the real Bunny Beast.
Just like one goth Modron.
Yeah. It's just got massive eyeliner on its one eye.
After my summer in Pandemonium, I'm really changed.
This how many of them like find themselves down there, you know what I mean? That it just like, because I'm sure Asmodeus picks up like signs a number of Warlock packs that they're just like, this all seems legit, Asmodeus.
What a thorough contract.
Mm-hmm.
This is very admirable.
Mm-hmm. They're like, we're creatures of law, sure.
All right. Well, I think that is a good place to wrap up this episode. Friends, where can people find you and what awesome things you're working on?
You can find me on Twitter at Erin M. Evans. You can join me with these guys on our podcast, writing about dragons and shit.
Which I remembered to post it. I totally didn't remember to schedule it yesterday, but it's posted now.
Hooray! And what else do I do? That's right.
What don't you do?
You can join me on twitch.tv/Dungeon Scrawlers every Monday at 1:30 for Concentration Check, a co-writing show, or co-working. Do whatever you want, but I'll help you keep focused. And then on Wednesdays, like today, at 6:30 p.m. Pacific for Dungeon Scrawlers, an actual play with a bunch of fantasy writers. We're going back to Candlekeep, and we've found a weird Medusa and a ghosty dragon.
Ooh.
I think they're going to be cool.
Hey, well, that's good.
Also, pre-order the book if you haven't already. I know you have, but if you haven't already, Empire of Exile available for pre-order now.
Easily accessible in the description of every writing about dragons and shit episode.
Also, we're getting close to potentially having a cover I can show people, and I'm very excited.
Ooh. Follow her on Instagram for that. Or not Instagram, Twitter. Yeah,
Twitter.
There we go. One of those social. I mean,
you should.
Yeah.
This is going to be a lot of pictures of my coffee and then occasionally books.
You know, but that's valid though.
Yep.
Completely
Coffee,
valid.
lipstick,
What people subscribe
trying
for.
to take pictures of the wind in the trees where I'm like, what's happening to my internet?
Exactly.
Sounds kind of David Lynchian.
I feel like taking pictures of the wind in the trees should be your next book title.
B-Dave, what are you up to?
Netflix Geek Week.
Woo!
A thing that you're probably going to hear about soon. Tonight, Legends of the Multiverse, D&D, Twitch, and YouTube at 5. Taking over for the DM chair for a little while. Tomorrow night, 2 special guests on the Black Dice Society. I'll tell you now, we're among friends. Lucky Yates is returning. Is Piddlewick 2, and Todd Stashwick as Van Richten are both coming in tomorrow night. So it's gonna be a good
That's
time.
exciting.
Also, D&D, Twitch, and YouTube at 4.
I'm not nerding out because I get to work on their audio now. Not at all.
I did a happy for Treavor. There you go.
You can follow me on Twitter at the Treavor. There's an A hiding in there. You can also catch me on I'm Gonna Podcast, which is back from the dead and available on almost every podcast service. So check that out, where it's me and my friends just joking around, having some fun. But yeah, that is going to do it for this week's episode. Thank you to Codename Entertainment for giving us a chance to have some fun, talking about some D&D. Thank you to Jordan for moderating in the chat and doing a fantastic job. And thank you to Lauren for producing and handling tech problems because I would have panicked. If you missed any part of this show, you can catch it later as a podcast on your favorite podcast service at a later time today. But today, probably, hopefully, if I remember, I will, because I have things to do and it will happen. And let's see. We've got Mars's Guiding Hand coming up later today and Sketching Hour after that, and a normal streaming schedule after that. If you need to keep up to date on anything we got going on, you can check it out here on Twitch. You can also check it out on our Twitter page, and that's where we'll be posting updates and whatnot. But yeah, that's going to do it for this week's episode. So until next week, Champions out.